So I've been working my way through Mage Knight. I've been living on a steady diet recently of Zombicide Invader and Mage Knight. I've got both of them set up in the Fritz cave here, just kind of playing through some scenarios and just enjoying it. Trying to win, but just playing for a bit, step out, do something, come back, play for a bit, step out. And I wanted to focus on Mage Knight because I think Mage Knight is a game that transitions. It's interesting with the transition. And on that focus, massive replayability. Massive in terms of exploration. And originally that's what drew me to the idea of Mage Knight, where here we have a character that we're going to level up, and you level up very quick. I like the idea of an actual Mage Knight in that you have tremendous powers and spells and abilities, and you become godlike where literally you take on fortified cities. So that narrative, I think, works really, really well compared to, say, and I love Pathfinder the Adventure card game, that you start out as level 1, so to speak, and you level up to like level 15 or 16, but it takes hours and hours and hours and hours of play. And that's cool, and that's a great thing. But being able to sit down, and Mage Knight is a lengthy game, even when you understand the rules, but getting that power trip in that compressed amount of time, I initially liked that, and I still do. I like that it's fantasy-based, and you explore, and there's monsters, and there's treasures, and there's dungeons, and there's decisions. It does feel like a fantasy type game. Tremendous replay in the core. On a side note, I would recommend if you were getting started with Mage Knight, or you're thinking about it, maybe you've found this vlog and you're kind of checking out some of the board game ideas, Mage Knight, on my channel. What I would explore, obviously, if you have the chance to trade or get it used or get a good deal, that kind of supersedes everything. But I would go with Mage Knight, the Ultimate Edition. And here's why I say this. Gets you everything in one shot. It's a big box. Some would say it's a little bit unnecessarily big. It's a big, big box. It gives you everything. You get a couple of exclusives. But this is why I say go for the Ultimate Edition. Your first couple of playthroughs, this is after you kind of learn the rules and you understand, Mage Knight is very much an exploration game. A lot of things are new. You're trying out new strategies. You're regularly getting defeated. So you come back, you try again. You've got the different characters. You've got different strategies. But then after a while, because Mage Knight is very much in control of the player, there are random elements. There are decisions to be made. But once you decide, literally, I'm at the edge of a tile. I can go left or I can go right. The tiles that are in play, that I'm going to play out, they're random. Now, maybe if I'm further out as it radiates, I'm getting close to a city. So there's a 1 in 4 chance, or I should say a 2 in 4 chance that a city tile will pop out, or actually 1 in 4. I can go left or right. You can control the odds, but there is so much discovery. But once you've committed to that tile and you flip it, and you populate it, with orc or a draconium, and there's a labyrinth or a maze or a city. Now you decide where you're going to go based on the mana that you have, the spells, the units that you've hired. You look and you resolve a puzzle. Moving into Mage Knight after about 15 or 20 plays, what I started to notice was, and this isn't a bad thing, your mind just adapts to the game. I mean, maybe you're just overdosing on Mage Knight too much. You start to adapt to the game, and all of a sudden, I feel like I'm doing mathematical exercises. I feel like I'm just crunching numbers as opposed to playing a game. And I noticed that. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Depends on your player personality. But in order to pull it back, because it is a tight game, it is solid, it's an amazing piece of work, to pull it back to that wonder of exploration, to pull it back to the unknown of exploration, what I found was not only playing different characters, but in the Ultimate Edition, not integrating all the scenarios at once. Picking, all the expansions at once. Picking what I want to play, integrating that. Never kind of going all in at once. Simply because I can pick the focus, and having that change, confronting that change, for me, broke that chain of, okay, calculate these cards, flip this card, play this card for 1 value, activate this mana here, good to go, burn this crystal, and I win. It pulled it back to that exploration because it allowed me to focus not only on the core, but also the content of the expansion.